Now, what about the losing merchandise? Maybe a lot of you sports fans have probably already heard that a lot of this merch gets donated across the globe to countries in need, especially after maybe they've experienced a natural disaster and some of this merchandise is in high need. So what happens in that case is the NFL, along with other major sports leagues like the NCAA, they partner with a charity called Good 360. We're going to go ahead and play a clip. Fox 13 in Tampa.
Sherry Rudolph is with Good 360, a nonprofit that partners with the NFL to ensure those unusable items don't go on the market and are donated to people and places that need them the most.
We work with the NFL on a pre-vetted and pre-approved list of countries, and those goods could go anywhere in Africa, Asia, the Middle East.
Between the two conference title games and the Super Bowl, literally thousands of items will be shipped, including branded masks new this year.
These things, even t-shirts and hats and sweatshirts, can truly be life-changing and transformational for those who otherwise wouldn't have access to these goods. Never before has it been greater than now because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
So even the losing side still wins in a sense, even if that victory goes unseen.
For the fans of whichever team doesn't happen to take home the trophy this weekend, there's definitely a silver lining that these products will help people in need.
In Tampa, Josh Cassio, Fox 13 News.
That is a silver lining. Good 360 works with several hundred other companies on those kinds of donations. Another major league partner of theirs is Major League Baseball.
Now, what's cool about this and what's briefly mentioned in that Good 360 news story is that it partners with other charities too. So it's not like, you know, somebody in need is just getting a bunch of merchandise from a loser team in the U.S. They're getting an entire package of goods, food, water, basic supplies, basic necessities, along with this merchandise. So it goes over a little bit better, in my opinion, when it's a whole package instead of just sending these oversized t-shirts to countries in need, because they need a lot more, let's be honest, than just the t-shirts. So that's a good note about that Good 360 charity. And then instead of it also thinking of it from the perspective of some of these other bigger brands like Chanel, Louis Vuitton, when they have a surplus of merchandise, what they do is they burn it. They don't donate it to other countries. They just get rid of the merchandise because they don't want the perception of their brand to be devalued, whatever, you know, obviously that means, which we know what it means, but it still just kind of sounds like a jerky thing to say. You have all of this merchandise and you could be donating it to people who need it, or maybe even severely discounting it and selling it off at outlet stores, something like that, something other than just burning the merchandise, perfectly good merchandise. So that's what this charity, Good 360, that's what they stand for, is instead of destroying merchandise, taking merchandise, and then also necessities like food and water and other life hygiene products, things like that, and they then donated it to a country in need. They work with their partners in order to pre-vet different countries that they would be sending this merchandise to. But the last part of this story, which I wanted to leave you with, is that going back to that Patriots versus Giants game, now that was a perfect season that never was for the Patriots. But when those shirts were taken and they were donated to a small village that was, I think, devastated by a hurricane earlier that year, girls' soccer team actually used those Patriots 19-0 perfect season t-shirts that never were. They used them as their uniform, and then they would go on to win their league championship, their local league championship, wearing those same shirts in a comeback 2-1 victory in their title game. So while that's a really good story, and while this entire process feels kind of like a mad scramble, a lot of this is done with intentionally, and on occasion, a funny story like the Georgia linebacker wearing the wrong merchandise takes place. But then on the other hand, a wholesome story like the girls' soccer team wearing the 19-0 shirts gets to actually celebrate a championship that was supposed to be celebrated by the Patriots, but now they get to celebrate a championship wearing those same shirts. So both of those stories are really fun to share and a much better alternative than what some other companies choose to do with their surplus merchandise.